when I read this last night, I thought about it within the context of a grocery trip with my daughter. I was laid off, I guess, last July, and austerity measures have taken hold.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You got to tighten your belt.
I've been tightening the belt
Mm-hmm.
in every way,
Mm-hmm.
right? I used to drink kombucha. I don't drink kombucha anymore. I used to, not really worry when I went to the grocery store. I just buy whatever I wanted. And now I don't do that.
Yeah.
I only buy things that I think we really need.
Circumstances that force a level of mindfulness on you.
Yeah. And, that's, I think, difficult for my daughter to understand because she wants things.
Yeah, because especially at an adolescent age, the engine is turned on want. Yeah.
And, there's a lot of saying no.
Yep.
And then there's a lot of the same kind of way I felt reading this was inadequacy.
Right.
Guilt.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
She'll say stuff like, you should just get that job. You should get another one of those jobs so that I can have all these things I want.
Right.
And then, she wanted something kind of simple. It was like these fancy markers or fancy pens that were different colors. And there was the expensive ones, the brand that were $12. And then there was the grocery store brand that was like $4. And I was like, I'll buy them. I'll buy these ones. And it seemed like she suffered as a result of having to buy the $4 ones.
Right.
And I thought, well, I could alleviate her suffering. If I followed this, if I felt her suffering and wanted to alleviate her suffering, and that was the goal. My goal is just to alleviate my child's suffering in that moment and buy the $12 pens. I could do that. Is that what I do over and over? Is prioritize ending suffering? Because when you look at this, they talk about dana is to give.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
how much do I not consider my own place and my own scarcity and my own concerns and give? And that's the question I have.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's part of, and this may be the argument for a system like Buddhism, right? The desire to relieve suffering may not be enough if you also don't have a sufficient system for diagnosing what's causing that suffering.
Yeah,
because from a classic Buddhist perspective, buying the $12 markers is not relieving suffering, because the problem, she's not suffering because she got the markers that were less expensive. She's suffering because she craves the markers that are more expensive.